The Tale of Sonic Jr. Once upon a time, there were 4 little hedgehogs, and their names were Sonia, Anya, Valentine, and Sonic Jr. They lived with their mommy in a sandbank, underneath the root of a very big fir tree. "Now my dears," said old Miss Hedgehog one morning, "you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Dr. Robotnik's garden. Your daddy had an accident there, he was put in a pie by Miss Robotnik. Now run along, and don't get into mischief. I am going out." Then old Miss Hedgehog took a basket and her umbrella, and went through the wood to the baker's. She bought a loaf of bread and 5 currant buns. Sonia, Anya, and Valentine, who were good little hedgehogs, went down the lane to gather blackberries. But Sonic Jr., who was very naughty, ran straight away to Dr. Robotnik's garden, and squeezed under the gate. First he ate some chili dogs and some French fries, and then he ate some cheeseburgers. And then, feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley. But round at the end of a cucumber frame, whom should he meet but Dr. Robotnik? Dr. Robotnik was on his hands and knees planting out young chili dogs, but he jumped up and ran after Sonic Jr., waving a rake and calling out, "Stop thief!" Sonic Jr. was most dreadfully frightened. He rushed all over the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate. He lost one of his sneakers among the chili dogs, and the other sneaker amongst the cheeseburgers. After losing them, he ran on 2 legs and went faster, so that I think he might have got away altogether if he had not unfortunately run into a gooseberry net, and got caught by the large buttons on his t-shirt. It was a blue t-shirt with brass buttons, quite new. Sonic Jr. gave himself up for lost, and shed big tears, but his sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows, who fled to him in great excitement, and implored him to exert himself. Dr. Robotnik came up with a sieve, which he intended to pop upon the top of Sonic Jr., but Sonic Jr. wriggled out just in time, leaving his t-shirt behind him, and rushed into the tool shed, and jumped into a can. It would have been a wonderful thing to hide in, if it had not had so much water in it. Dr. Robotnik was quite sure that Sonic Jr. was somewhere in the tool shed, perhaps hidden underneath a flower pot. He began to turn them over carefully, looking under each. Presently, Sonic Jr. sneezed, "Curtis-coo." Dr. Robotnik was after him in no time, and tried to put his foot upon Sonic Jr., who jumped out of the window, upsetting the 3 plants. The window was too small for Dr. Robotnik, and he was tired of running after Sonic Jr. Sonic Jr. sat down to rest. He was out of breath and trembling with fright, and he had not the least idea which way to go. Also he was very damp with sitting in that can. After time he began to wander about, not very fast, and looking all around. He found a door in a wall, but it was locked, and there was no room for a fat little hedgehog to squeeze underneath. An old mouse was running in and out over the stone doorstep, carrying peas and beans to her family in the wood. Sonic Jr. asked her the way to the gate, but she had such a large pea in her mouth that she could not answer. She only shook her head at him. Sonic Jr. began to cry. Then he tried to find his way straight across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. Presently, he came to a pond where Dr. Robotnik filled his water cans. An orange cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still, but now and then the tip of her tail twitched as it were alive. Sonic Jr. thought it best to go away without speaking to her. He had heard about cats from his friend, Baby Knuckles. He went back towards the tool shed, but suddenly, quite close to him, he heard the noise of a hoe. Sonic Jr. scattered underneath the bushes, but presently, as nothing happened, he came out, and climbed upon a wheelbarrow and peeped over. The first thing he saw was Dr. Robotnik hoeing onions. His back was turned towards Sonic Jr., and beyond him was the gate. Sonic Jr. got down very quietly off the wheelbarrow, and started running as fast as he could go, along a straight walk behind some blackcurrant bushes. Dr. Robotnik caught sight of him at the corner, but Sonic Jr. did not care. He slipped underneath the gate, and was safe at last in the wood outside the garden. Dr. Robotnik hung up the little t-shirt and the sneakers for a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Sonic Jr. never stopped running or looked behind him till he got home to the big fir tree. He was so tired that he flopped down upon the nice soft sand on the floor of the rabbit hole and shut his eyes. His mommy was busy cooking. She wondered what he had done with his clothes. It was the second little t-shirt and pair of sneakers that Sonic Jr. had lost in a fortnight. I am sorry to say that Sonic Jr. was not very well during the evening. His mommy out him to bed, and made some chamomile tea, and she gave a dose of it to Sonic Jr. 1 tablespoonful to be taken at bedtime. But Sonia, Anya, and Valentine had bread and milk and blackberries for supper.